It's crazy. Like, I don't see too many people talk about the spiritual aspect of living in Japan, but Japan is a very spiritually dense and very intense place. And, I kind of scroll like looking for any other foreigners who might be talking about it because there's like a ton of like in Japan. So I'm thinking like they don't sense anything. You don't feel anything. I mean, I've always been sensitive to stuff. That's why I never went to like Hiroshima or Nagasaki because I knew I was going to see stuff there. And I saw a lot more things in Japan than I do here in the States. But the thing is, I didn't know how to protect myself and cover myself. When I was in Japan, I did witchcraft to protect myself, and I also had cats. I mean, I've always liked cats, but having cats like, protected me in a way from those attacks or those things that I saw in Japan. It was very scary. And I didn't know Christ. And I wish that I had known Christ during my time in Japan. But I just was like into Reiki. I was into chakras. I was like doing like all this like occult stuff, thinking that it was going to give me power. But I still had night terrors. I still like would project out of my body and just see crazy stuff. Okay. I saw all those things and I had no protection. But then when I came back to the States, I found Christ. I mean, well, Christ, was there all the time. It's just like I opened my heart to him and I didn't get those attacks anymore. And so when I went back to Japan for a visit, I was staying in this capsule hotel, guys. I was like, just checking out the different, because I stayed in Japan for like 3 weeks. And I just went around to different hotels. I was staying in a really nice hotel, then like a budget one, then like a very traditional one. But in that capsule hotel, it was kind of old, and I didn't feel like I was scared or anything. But I remember one night, or maybe morning, it was around 2 or 3. I suddenly woke up and I had kanashibari, which is night terror where you cannot move. And through my eye, I saw a woman kneeling next to me in my tiny capsule. Like, it was just so tiny. And I was just like, how'd she get in there? And I couldn't see her face. And she was kind of bent over. She was like bent over like this. And she was wearing all white. But she had very uneven, like thick hair, And she was slowly pulling back my cover, just fucking with me. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, I'm not going to do any spells or say anything. I'm just going to say Jesus. And as soon as I said she ran. That, okay, I'm trying not to curse, but she ran. Like, spiritually, you can just, it just felt like she just zoomed out of there, like she, like that. And she just left. Like, she was gone. She fled as soon as I said the name Jesus. And so I'm like, dang, if I had known this before, I wouldn't have like suffered all those spiritual attacks that I got in Japan, because Japan is a highly haunted like place. And I love Japan, but there's a lot of people there doing this to themselves, and there's like a lot of unrequited love and like like things happening at the train stations and stuff. And I can feel those things. So being armed with, the name Jesus and the blood of Jesus, like, made my time in Japan so relaxing. I didn't have to worry about any nightly visits after that. As soon as I said Jesus, like, whatever she was, just fled out of that, like, little tiny capsule hotel that I was in.